Join the family at osbournemediahouse.com.
We have some exciting news.
Really exciting news.
osbournemediahouse.com is live, and we are rolling, so people...
It looks like you're holding a turd. Put that down.
That was quick. That was very quick. We were merely in the introduction, and Kelly has spoken of shit.
Crazy. Hey, but that's how it goes.
I need to go to a happier place.
I feel romantic.
Shut up, Ozzy!
Just go to bed, darling.
All right, change the subject.
All right, so exciting news. Osbourne Media House is live, and the subscription section is live, and we also have our fresh merch. Check it out.
Come on.
All right, here we go.
From where?
For our website, so people can buy t-shirts. Look, we've got
I love that one.
the whole fam, the whole crew.
The fam. And they're very soft, Kelly. You
Very
felt
soft.
them.
No.
They
We've got
feel
like
really
an
I like the
good.
retro one.
The old retro Osbourne era.
I never liked the pictures in our family pictures of myself.
No one ever likes pictures of themselves.
I like that one.
Here's a good one. Yep.
Do you remember Ross Halfin made me cry that day?
Yes.
Yes. Many
Thank
a
you,
day.
Ross.
Yeah. And then
They
we've
are
got the
really
really old school.
comfortable.
The really old school vibe. Look at
Oh,
that.
Lola.
Got the crew. So for anyone listening, make sure you head over to osbournemediahouse.com. Go check out the merch shop. Go
And come
sign
join
up.
our family.
Yes, come join. We have a full subscription side where there's exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else.
And what I really like about this kind of content is that it's driven by the people who subscribe to it. So
Yes.
if you guys want to see something from us, you tell us and we will then deliver.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I think is unique about being a part of the Osbourne Media House.
All right, so let's begin.
Okay, so we reached out to, speaking of the fans, to the fans in our community of Osbourne Media House, and we asked what they want to hear from us.
Mm-hmm.
And what they wanted to hear from us, it seems like a lot of people have food on their mind. This is from Sweet Caroline. Ozzy's chocolate jaw. I'd love to rate it. And then Anne Berlin, does Ozzy still have a burrito addiction? Absolutely.
Still have what?
A burrito addiction.
No, it's got my... What are we on?
Oh, you
I
still
don't
order
have
it.
every day. I still
Not
eat it.
every day.
It's
your
not
curry
curry.
number one.
Yeah.
I'm back on curry again.
Wow.
And pies.
What?
And pies.
All right. What is a typical meal in the household like for you guys?
Oh, with me.
It starts with
You know,
picking up
if-
the phone
if
and texting me.
I'll find a food that I like, and I'll eat that till I don't like it again. So what are we on this? I'm on my health kick right now.
Salmon.
Salmon.
Oh, yeah.
Salmon
Is it
and
the
rice.
M Cafe salmon? The teriyaki salmon?
Yeah, no, it's from
Erwan.
what's that expensive stuff?
Erwan.
Air one.
You have to say Erwan.
I fall for every trick at Air One. Let me tell you, I fall for every single trick.
Air One.
I have the reusable bag, but I didn't just get the reusable
Oh,
bag.
you got the $150
Yes,
one.
I had to have the $150 one because I just had to have it.
For
Yeah.
a grocery bag.
Yes.
Oy.
But I probably have used that grocery bag every day since I bought it.
I gifted our awesome producers Air One gift bags for Christmas. So they got one of the nice grocery bags. They got a little candle and
I fall for every trick at that grocery store.
But talking about food again, most of the restaurants we used to go to have closed down.
Yeah. All the good ones, all the ones that were magical.
I barely go out to
Medeo's
eat now.
has moved to
Medeo's has moved, it's different now.
No, it's totally different. Medeo's was this very
Italian.
low key but exclusive Italian
It was like a
restaurant.
private club,
It
wasn't
was. It was downstairs in this basement of a office building, and you
was
would
amazing.
go in there. You'd see all these great actors like De Niro, and I mean, it goes on and on and on. And it was just fantastic, family run, intimate, And then the building was closed for refurbishment. They've now changed it from offices to apartments. So Medeo's moved to Sunset, and they moved to a much, much bigger restaurant.
I didn't. When I went there, I really didn't like it.
I didn't like it. To
Does
me,
it have the same?
a lot of
vibe.
women of the night in there.
yeah,
Hookers.
a lot. And it's just not the same. The food isn't the same. Nothing's the same. However, they still do have my favorite dessert.
The Napoleon.
Yeah. Love it.
Isn't it funny that there's a dessert called the Napoleon? It'd be like, imagine you had a dessert called the Hitler.
No thanks.
Like, Napoleon was not a good person.
No, well, the Hitler would be
He came
gas
up with a really
infused.
fucking good cake.
So that restaurant has gone. El Piccolino.
Oh, pickle.
Piccolino was the best. Another great Italian restaurant.
You guys love
And
your
It wasn't
Italians.
Italian. It was. What would you? It wasn't Italian.
Yes, it was.
El Piccolo wasn't Italian. It was
Italian flavor, yeah.
continental.
Fusion.
But we had so many of your birthdays in there.
Oh yeah.
And what I loved about that restaurant, again, is that it was very exclusive, and very small. And you had to really call ahead to get a table.
And also the place I used to get the chicken with the tomatoes.
Oh, God, what is that
For-
place called?
Begins with an F.
It was off Robertson. And again, tiny, family-owned, great. They just, after lockdown, they couldn't survive. But it's, all of these places have gone. And it's like the places where you knew you could go and eat and you're not going to be
And bothered.
photographed when you come out.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you just wanted a
Well,
nice,
that place
quiet...
used to go up the road from.
Le Dome.
Oh. I can't
Oh, the Osteria,
Elton's-
the Mozart.
Well, that
No,
was
Hamburger
really
Hamlet.
Elton.
Hamburger Hamlet.
With Elton, where?
By on the
But where Sunset splits off.
no, where old offices used to be up the road.
Oh,
Oh, Cicconi's.
Craig's.
Craig's. That's actually one of my favorite like Hollywood restaurants.
Me too.
Yeah, I like Craig's.
I love going to Craig's and I love
Is that
Craig.
always
And
still Elton?
the restaurants, I like Mr. Chow's. It's all, you always
But wait,
know what you're going to
You're
get.
just listing the restaurants you like. You're not. I asked the question of what does a meal look like at home for you guys when you sit down to
it
eat?
Sorry.
starts with them
Surely depends
texting
if-
me.
It all depends how fast the delivery boy gets there.
No,
If he's an hour, it's shit.
Daddy likes the hamburger place down the road.
Okay.
So he gets that delivered.
Okay, but I'm not asking what, guys. I'm asking what
What
does
does it look like?
Do you
A
guys sit?
hamburger and chips.
No, Mum,
no.
stop. Just stop talking. I'll paint the
Oh,
picture
go
for you,
on.
Jack.
Okay.
So it starts with them calling me, and then they're telling me what it is they would like to eat. So then I order it for them. And then for about the next 25 to 1 hour, it would take for, depending on how long what restaurant they ordered from,
Or
for it to
do
get delivered.
you remember to what address to send it to?
Well, I'm trying. One person here, new mother. And I order their food for them. And then they call me every 15 minutes until the food gets there. And then the food gets there and there's a problem. And Dad would like me to inform the restaurant of something that he did not like about it. 9 times out of 10, I don't.
But-
then I order them. We go through the same thing in about 2 hours.
But you're still not.
This is
no,
what
wait.
I do. I clean the kitchen table
Okay.
because the cats have been on there. So I disinfect the kitchen table. I set the table very nicely.
So you eat takeout with your nice table setting.
yes,
Okay, so you
I
don't
do.
just eat out of the box.
No,
I
Mom
don't
doesn't like that.
I
She
hate
gets very
that.
upset if you
Do
do
you,
that.
on most nights, do you guys eat dinner together, or one eats and then another will eat, or do you
I
guys?
like to do it together.
Okay.
I do.
It's nice when it happens.
Yeah, I like that. But
Do you have the TV on when you eat dinner?
No.
No.
What do you like to drink when you eat dinner?
water. Only water.
Mom likes a bit of Hendrix
In
sometimes.
the old days, it was
I like to
cocktail.
drink. I like to drink Liquid Death when I eat my dinner.
Hey everyone, it's the Osbournes, and the Osbournes podcast is sponsored by Liquid Death.
What is Liquid Death? Liquid Death is actually a really cool product. It's a healthy beverage brand that makes mountain spring water, low sugar soda, and low sugar iced teas, my favorite.
Their infinitely recyclable cans are helping to bring death to single-use plastic bottles, hence the name.
What do you think of Liquid Death, my darling?
What I've tried, I really like it. It's really good stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, I never thought I would enjoy drinking water out of a can. And I must say, I think their Arnold Palmer is superior.
Put it on to vodka tonic, though.
I don't think they're coming out with the Long Island iced teas quite yet.
If I had the opportunity to gift an infinite amount of people Liquid Death, I would put it in schools because I think that you would actually get kids to drink more water.
You know, I totally agree with you. But the thing is to drink more water and to let them realize plastic is a no-no.
All right, so you can get your free shipping of Liquid Death's Mountain Spring Water, flavored sparkling, and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, and they're also on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/Osbournes to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Osbournes, liquiddeath.com/Osbournes. Cheers.
Cal?
Cheers.
Chip, chip.
Hey everyone, it's Jack Osbourne here. The Osbournes podcast is sponsored by Fume. Let's talk about bad habits. We all have them and we all want to break them, but it's so damn hard. Sometimes it just feels next to impossible. It reminds me of when I have given up many a filthy, dirty habit. I will not list them because I probably would lose this sponsorship. But trust me, I am no stranger to giving up bad things. But it's time we made things easier on ourselves. You don't need to always just give up. Instead, you can switch it up. Cue Fume. Fume is a healthy habit that you are free to enjoy anytime, anywhere, any place. I thoroughly enjoy it. There's many different flavors. It's super easy, discreet, and it subs as a fidget spinner. Start the year off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/Osbournes and getting the Journey Pack today. Fume is giving listeners of the show 10% off when they use the code Osbournes to help make starting the good habit that much easier.
But dinner in my house is now a really important meal of the day.
Yeah.
Because when you have kids, it changes everything. And it's the time where my rule is no phones, no taking calls in the middle of dinner. I just want that little time.
If your mum don't have a phone near her, just withdrawals.
Guilty.
How often do I use the phone?
Give me your phone and let me tell you how often you're on it.
You used to say to me all the time, you're so rude by having that phone. You're always so rude with that phone. And now Daddy's addicted to his phone and his iPad.
No.
I'd like everyone to know that my phone usage is down to an average of 4.5 hours a day. And that includes stuff for work, Zooms, emails,
You know what?
texting.
You ain't got the time to...
Well, exactly, yeah.
Can I ask you something, Kel?
Yeah.
Do you end up eating some of Sid's
I don't
food?
cook. I don't make food for myself. I make food for Sydney and I eat what he doesn't eat.
Right. That was like how initially years ago I put on so much weight because I would eat whatever you guys left as well as my own dinner.
See, I don't make my own dinner. I just make a bigger portion for Sydney and then I eat what he doesn't eat.
I've become kind of more of a lunch person. Like I kind of pick what I want for lunch and then I just graze off the kids for dinner.
It's funny, I have become a better cook. I cook more things than I ever thought I would be able to.
I don't think...
And I figured it out all by myself.
I can cook, but it's the strangest thing. When I cook, I can't eat it.
It doesn't taste the same.
No, I don't like to eat what I cook.
I don't
So
think...
weird,
I was trying to think about this because knowing we were doing food, I don't think... I'm trying to remember a time where you've cooked for me and I've eaten it. I
don't think you've ever come and had dinner at my house.
No, I don't think.
Why?
I don't think I've ever...
Yeah, he's really good.
Really?
Yeah, really
He
good.
cooked us a Sunday lunch.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever... Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to rectify that. And I'm going to do... Because there are some things that I can do really well. I do Taco Tuesday really well. And I fry the taco shells.
I'm good
and make
at
them all
beans on
crispy
toast.
and I can do all that very well. And I do a really good shepherd's pie. and a good sausage and mash. So you pick
Oh
what you
wow,
want.
those are like actual things. Okay.
You pick what you want, and I will.
Okay. Maybe we'll stop in for a Taco Tuesday.
Okay, perfect.
She does. I tend to be the cook at home though.
Yeah, you do cook a lot.
Yeah, I cook a lot.
You argue over cooking. Though.
We do
Do
argue
you know
over
one
that's
thing Mum
probably
and I
our-
agree with, really agree with. We both don't like barbecue food anymore.
I don't like barbecue.
Oh,
food.
I love barbecue.
I can't eat it.
I'm not a barbacoa kind of gal
Why?
because it's dirty and it's messy and it gets all over you.
And you smell of it. I don't like barbecue sauce. That makes me gaggy. And I don't know. I just don't like barbecue
I don't want to
food.
suck the meat off of any bone. Sorry.
So many jokes there.
I know.
Will reframe.
Okay.
But that's really
Yeah,
odd.
you
So
do a lot of cooking, Jack.
I do a lot of cooking.
So you were going to say that you and Ari
No,
argue over cooking.
They argue over cooking.
Yes.
And it's because of they have different styles and techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Jack and Ari argue over cooking, me and Sid argue over the dishwasher
Yeah, it's a
because-
big thing.
because I have OCD and I want it in a certain order and he wants it in his order and it's very different from mine and we get upset with each other.
I'm a cook. I cook slow and low.
Mm-hmm.
Ari likes to like turn the heat up, and I'm always like trying to turn the heat down.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
fucking hates it.
I have to tell you, when Andy was staying with me last weekend, she said she wanted pasta for dinner.
Mum poisoned Andy.
So I made the pasta and I'm sitting down looking at her and I'm saying, "Are you not hungry, Andy?" And she goes, "Nana, this tastes very different to the other pastas that I've eaten." And I'm like, "Why?" So I go and I said, "Can I take some?" So I took some and it was like glue. It was liquid glue. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Andy." She goes, "Okay, can we try again?" And I said, "Sure." So I tried
Can we
again
try
and it was
again?
fine.
What, you just overcooked it?
I don't know what I did, but her little face, she was like,
Well, Andy
Is that the
is
stuff I was eating?
Andy.
yes,
I put the fork in. I swear to God, I put the fork in. It came up in one big
lump.
lump.
Oh, yeah. Let me. I know exactly what you did.
What?
You ran it under cold water after you
Yes,
drained
I
it.
did.
You don't do that.
You don't?
No,
No,
you
Mom.
do not do that with pasta
Oh.
because you want the starch to stay on it. So if you run pasta under water
Yeah.
after you've cooked it and it's in the strainer, you wash away the starch, but you need the starch on there.
Jack, do you remember the amount of times when we were kids when Mum had made a dinner and we'd sat there and watched people across the table be like, "How the fuck am I going to swallow this?"
I don't remember.
You don't
that.
remember? I
Thank
remember.
you,
always-
Jack.
I
Thank
always-
you. Maybe once or twice.
I can
That's
always
it.
I can always remember being really confused because you would love to tell everyone how terrible of a cook you were, but I would always be like, but she's not. In my mind, I would always think that
She's
because
either good at get it great or completely cocky.
sure, but you used to cook a Sunday roast.
Yeah, I
Those
did.
aren't easy to do. You used to make great roast potatoes.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to, but do you know what it is? I don't like smelling of cooking. So I got this phobia about
oh,
cooking.
What do you mean?
I
don't.
don't
don't like
like
smelling like what you.
What are you saying? That if you cook, you smell like what you've cooked?
Yes,
Yeah, you
change
can,
your clothes.
yeah, wear an
Or
apron.
wear an apron, yeah.
Yeah.
but it gets in your hair.
I think Mum was probably vehemently against wearing aprons as a woman in the household.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got my. It's funny. In our house in Iowa, the sink splashes really bad when you're doing the dishes, and I have an apron that I wear
To protect
when I'm
your
in
clothes.
Iowa because I just get drenched every day
Yeah.
if I don't.
Who here's the pickiest eater?
Daddy, he will comment on
This
every
is true.
little thing.
This is true.
Everything that you can find in
You're a picky
anything,
eater.
he will find.
Picky eater,
Very
like you,
picky.
like you can't just eat anything. Like you have to be you're very particular. You like it a certain way.
You
And
like
if
what
it's
you
not-
like.
Daddy last week asked Melinda to order him a curry. So it comes and then Melinda texts Ozzy, "How was your dinner?" He just goes, "Shit."
Did you?
At least he's honest.
One of my biggest pet peeves are picky eaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, how do you deal with Andy?
It's a huge pet peeve. I just have to suck it up. I cannot stand picky eaters.
I get Andy, and I get her taste buds now, so I know what she's gonna like and what she's not. And I introduced her to 2 new things this week, and I'm so proud of myself.
Picky
What did you
eater is someone.
introduce her to?
The pretzel bread.
Oh,
and,
yeah, she loved it. She loved it. But I've never known a kid just eat bread with salt on. No butter, just salt.
who's that?
Andy.
Yeah, but all she eats is pasta, peas, carrots, steak, and bread. That's it.
It's a good, healthy diet.
I mean, she will eat salad.
But it has to be
She's
Olive
all
Garden
that.
Italian vinaigrette.
Olive Garden, Italian vinaigrette. Yes.
It has to be from the Olive Garden, and she
You
knows
saying-
if it's not.
Ask Jack a question. What does it mean?
A picky eater is someone who is very particular about what they eat, how they eat. They'll send food back. They'll,
Oh.
you know,
But
like
there
people.
is also
I'm not that bad. I'm not.
no. You'll just tell everyone how terrible it is when you're. Just,
When I had my Indian food last week, I was going to longer six, and I went, "Oh, fuck, it was shit."
have you seen that young girl on? She's on Instagram and TikTok, and she's probably all of 6 or 7 years old, and she has a phobia of food, and it's her on her journey, and I think it's called Advib or.
No,
and
haven't seen
it's
it.
she's so cute, and she tries her hardest every day to try something new, and you watch her go through this horrible like physical and emotional journey trying all these new things, but she's trying them. And she rates them out of 10, and she's the cutest thing you have ever seen.
It's like
It makes me
There was
cry.
one
Her
I was-
videos
there
make
was
me
one I
cry.
watched one time. There was a big guy and a little guy, and they changed what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
It was
No.
quite interesting.
picky eaters are a huge pet peeve of mine because I always think like not it's like it's a weird thing because I'm not normally like this with things. I'm like, well, it is probably just because I've traveled
What
so
if-
much.
What if you go to someone's house and they put something on your plate that you don't like to eat?
I don't eat it.
I don't. Well, there's very few things I don't like to eat because I've eaten fucking the weirdest
Didn't you
food.
drink cow's blood in
I've
Africa?
done. No, I didn't do that. I've had goat's blood. I've eaten a lot of goat. No, it's most developing countries like goat is the go-to meat.
What's it
When I
taste
was in
like?
a butchery tray, they used to get these old goats and just kill them.
Yeah,
That was for the.
but the goat tastes like really musky lamb.
Yeah.
It's
I
like it's not.
Dusty lamb.
Musky, like it's really gamey. It's like and it it doesn't smell
What's
good.
the most
I had
exotic
curry goat
food
one
you've ever
time.
tried?
I was in Barrio, which is a jungle island off of Malaysia, and we were with a tribe, and they like cooked us like a traditional tribal banquet.
Which was?
Did you have to eat testicles?
Not that time, no.
So you have eaten a testicle?
I have, yeah. It was
Snake.
no, some of it was actually really good. Like they made amazing rice, and they cooked it inside of like a bamboo tube, and then there was this weird kind of bamboo shoot like vegetable in a sauce, which was great. It was a little when they brought out the dead gibbon,
What's a gibbon?
What's a gibbon?
a monkey.
No.
I did not partake.
No.
I did not partake in the consumption of gibbon.
That's too
but
close to human.
I ate jungle boar instead, which was like jungle pig.
That's got to stink.
No, it was actually really good. It was really good. It was surprisingly very lean and like, yeah. It was.
You know, I've never eaten. I'm not into exotic food. I've never even had an oyster. I can't look at people eating oysters because it makes me think that they're just eating someone else's loogie,
Loogies, yeah, that always reminds
and
me
it
of
smells
loogies.
disgusting.
Oysters.
Can we talk about, by the way, last time we all went to dinner with Andy, what she
Yeah.
ordered?
What did she order?
She sits down. Oh no, it was Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl goes, I'd like to start with the clam boil. So she ordered like a clam boil, and so eating clams.
That's her southern side though.
And then she got Alaskan crab legs, and then I had to stop her from ordering a plate of oysters. I was like, Pearl, enough on the seafood buffet. Like,
Isn't it funny? But I was thinking,
Why does she want that?
she Pearl loves
doesn't
to.
eat meat. She doesn't eat meat.
Does only eats fish.
Yeah. Andy, you know, loves fruit.
Yeah.
Because in the mornings I gave her lots of fruit and she loves it.
Mm.
Well, in my house, everything got it when I was growing up. Everything got it.
Yeah.
I would slave away in the kitchen.
Was anyone?
Talking of which, say hello to Auntie Jean.
Hello, Auntie Jean.
Who was the cook in your house growing up?
My mum.
Your mum? You?
My mother.
How were your parents cooking?
Shit.
My mum was quite a good cook.
Really?
Yeah. Little tiny kitchen, but she managed to feed us all.
What about you said shit, but like, what does that mean? Like, just,
Was it like cabbage?
or was it like,
Yes, there was a lot of cabbage, but that was the time. I mean,
it
people
was like
just-
Depression era?
and it was always up high, not thawed properly,
Soggy.
and
Yeah.
not great.
Okay.
But can you remember when frozen food first came out? I can't.
Everybody was like crazy on it.
It was
Oh my
like
God.
frozen peas, frozen this.
Yeah. I used to be like, froze, but like, I have so much frozen fruits and vegetables and stuff. Like,
Now it's microwave, isn't it?
No,
don't-
I
I
don't
feel
like
like
I
microwave.
don't use a
won't
microwave at
use
all.
it.
no,
Oh, I
I
do.
rarely.
Won't use it.
I'll use it like sparingly.
Dad does use the microwave a lot.
That's because he's always heating up his curry.
But, but you do. You use the microwave every day. I never use the microwave.
We don't have one in England anymore. I
Oh.
got rid of it.
Mm.
Well,
No
you-
microwave
you might-
in
you
England.
might wanna-
What's that one I use in the kitchen?
No, in England. We don't have one.
Look
I
how
got rid
upset
of
Dad
it.
gets when you say that.
So refined.
Oh, but
Yes,
They're
I
above.
think
then.
so.
Do you
they're
know-
above microwaves?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yes.
what I've realized about myself is that you can bribe me with a cookie. Like if you want me, like at the end of the day, like Sid's like, can we go blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I don't really want to go, and he's like, I got you a bag of Milano cookies. I'm like, okay.
That's good to know.
What's the bakery that I love?
Where you get
Republic?
the cookies from?
Yes.
No, that's not Republic.
It begins with an L.
Mum gets these like insane cookies every day.
They're like this big chocolate. They're the best.
Who's the biggest foodie in the family? Well, foodie. No, I wouldn't describe him as a foodie. Foodie.
Dad, let me tell you something. Dad loves food.
Yes, but
Oh,
but a foodie is someone that's like, oh, I read about this restaurant in this article and I want to go try it, or I saw this video on YouTube and I want to go to that restaurant.
Def-
But I think
Definitely
Dad
not.
looks at food in a much more pure and beautiful way than we do, because it was something that was scarcity when he was younger. And like when you see Dad eat ice
It
cream,
wasn't scarcely. I just genuinely like food. I mean, in my house, we all had we ate a lot of stews in the day, but there was always food there.
I don't
I just
like,
remember the one can of soup split 4 ways.
I don't like those foodie restaurants. I can't be doing with it.
What I don't
like it at all.
It's buffets. When
Oh
you
my
got
God,
all
no.
the-
Everybody
And
breathing
those
and touching
little-
things
all
and putting
those
it back.
little fruit flies.
I
on
fucking love a
everything.
buffet.
Do you
No.
really?
Fucking
I
love it.
always overdo it, you know.
I love a buffet graze.
No,
Like,
I think
That's
it's
the
so
thing
Hang out
about-
there
dirty.
for like 4
That's the
hours.
thing about Hawaii
5 hours.
this last time, which I liked about the last time we went. We had our own house, our own cook.
Yeah.
When you're staying at the hotel, it's the same menu at every hotel.
Oh, in Hawaii it was brilliant. That cook was divine.
The food that what we had last time was
We
incredible.
all left fatter.
Yeah, we did.
No wonder they get big guys there. But you know what? They really eat a lot of in there spam.
Spam. Yeah,
In-
spam
in
is like the
breakfasting.
national dish
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
There's a fucking mountain of spam in.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
can-
you like spam.
I don't mind. I'll eat spam. But I'm telling you, I've seen the way it's made. It's not that. It's all the end bits.
Well, I know the answer to this question from you, but would you guys ever be able to kill something and eat it?
No,
Never.
no.
I would.
No. can't do it.
No, I literally couldn't do it.
If I want it,
I ate it for dinner this week.
What did you
I
eat?
mean,
Elk that I killed.
Oh, no.
Why
No.
the look?
Because
Do you know what's-
I think that there is so much food around that you don't need to kill things like that to eat. There's so much food around. Listen,
Okay.
if we were in a place where there wasn't a lot of food, you didn't have options, you had to live. I
Sure.
get it.
okay,
But then why-
Would you eat dolphin?
Would I eat dolphin?
Hmm.
No, because I I wouldn't eat
People
dolphin.
eat dolphins.
Sure.
If there was a war condition and we weren't getting as much food in, would you eat it then?
If it wasn't an option, if it was like my only option.
Here's the thing though, like elk, you could eat it and you'd be like, oh, this is like the greatest tasting.
I don't
meat.
like it. You've given it to me before.
No,
and
I don't
didn't
think
like
I
it.
haven't.
I watched
I'm
this
not giving
thing-
you
I
elk. I'm
watched
giving you
this thing
deer.
on
Deer, oh, okay.
YouTube yesterday with this guy in a hide and these beautiful, beautiful deer comes up and it runs around this little white bottom and he smacks it with an air rifle thing, 30 bore and fucking things like that. Dropped it. And he picked it up and I go, was that necessary?
Well, I mean, here's where I look at it, right? There's so much shit in everything we eat now, right? The chemicals, the pesticides, the fucking antibiotics, all that stuff,
Hormones, all of it.
hormones, and it's making people sick. I mean, listen, you probably got colon cancer from eating shitty quality food.
I still stand by this. I know I got colon cancer from McDonald's.
Okay.
That's where I got it from. Those horrible milkshakes that I was addicted to for years.
Okay. So with that being
That's a
said,
mighty claim, allegedly.
with that being said, I like knowing that if I'm eating meat, it's really high quality, or I know exactly where it came from. So for me, and with the amount that Andy eats meat, it's really important at home for me to know that it's like super high quality. And if it's stuff that's like
That's a good
that I
cook.
killed,
Mm-hmm.
I know that elk or deer never ate an antibiotic in its life, never saw the inside of a
They graze on farmland.
there's not a huge amount of farmland where I'm at. There is, but it's not.
It's really forest.
Yeah, it's more mountainous and stuff, and so
trees.
yeah.
Because that's their big thing from there.
I
is
just feel
trees.
like you can be you're either a hunter gatherer or not, and
You-
I'm not.
but what do you?
I have it in me to kill
What do you
another
think
animal.
about people in China
that are killing
who-
dogs?
and cats?
And
I
eating
read. Well, they use the skins they sell them for fur collars, cuffs, whatever, and then they eat the dog. And what their preference is, they try different breeds of dogs to see the taste, and I think it's heinous.
And apparently, they said that a
I'll-
dog with dark fur tastes better than a dog with white fur.
It's disgusting.
And it I've done so many things. Like,
Oh
I
my
did a whole
God.
campaign against the Yulin Meat Festival. I think it is so disturbing and horrible that they do this to dogs.
yeah, I agree.
I think it's disgraceful that the Japanese eat dolphin.
I think there's a huge. I think that's decreasing. I'm not sure if like the Japanese dolphin consumption is as booming as it once was. I think
They
there's
just sell it as second grade. Wild meat.
yeah. It's
Can
but
well.
ultimately though, like it's such a, and this is the way I kind of look at it. It's such a
Go on.
no, it's a weird thing for like I always just because I've been to so many developing nations, countries that don't have Walmart and fucking Tesco
Mass-produced
and
food.
and it's like people just kind of eat what they can fucking eat. And I have a hard time passing huge judgment on it because at the end of the day, it's like,
Survival.
I'm not passing judgment on people who have to eat that way. I know that I don't have to, so I'm not going
Some people don't
to.
have the choice. They don't have this. Oh, can I have this?
sure, but
Whatever. If it's monkey meat, that's all I got.
but culturally though, it does like cultures do play a huge role in kind of what and how we eat. Like think about it. Like you don't have to ever eat Marmite again in your entire life. Most of the world eats Marmite and goes, that's fucking disgusting.
I love it.
But we love it because it's something that
cultural.
It's something we grew up with.
But
I'm
we
not
also
comparing
eat it differently than Americans
Sure.
eat it. They put it on like it's peanut butter, and
I'm not comparing Marmite to dolphin, but like I
How
think
do they make up that Marmite?
it's
bro?
yeast
from the
yeah,
from
it's
the
like-
beer
I can't
barrels.
eat it anymore.
But it like I do think that a lot of people tend to have kind of
You're using it like, okay, North Korea. I don't know whether this is the truth or not,
Mm-hmm.
but I have read several times that there's no birds in North Korea
Yeah.
because people are starving there
Yeah.
and
sure.
they've wiped out the race of birds,
I-
different birds, because they eat them.
I saw something. Someone was being interviewed from South Korea, and they asked them about like, well, you guys eat dog meat, and they said yes, we do, but how many starving citizens are there in the United States of America? And you know what they threw out a number of how many millions of people go to bed hungry at night in the United States, and this person turned around and said, we don't have that problem here. Yeah, North
We're
Korea.
king now.
I went 6 feet into North Korea.
You did?
Yeah.
when
Do you
we
remember, Mum,
yeah.
when we went to
went
the...
to
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I went
yeah.
6 feet into
Yeah.
North Korea. Remember I went to the DMZ? I went to the
Oh,
other
yeah.
side of the table.
I wasn't allowed to go on some of that.
No, yeah, you weren't. For some reason, I forgot why they wouldn't let you go to the base.
Because they said that I'd have to dress up as a boy because if they saw a woman that I'd be shot or something like that. It was something
so
really
weird, yeah.
like.
That was
I
fun,
don't
though.
remember.
But I wasn't allowed to go.
What a
Do you-
great trip.
Do you remember? It was
I
so
wish-
cool.
On that helicopter.
I wish you would have done more USO things. It was so much fun when we did them.
I loved
Yeah.
it, and meeting everybody and seeing
Yeah.
that army base that is like
Kids.
Yeah.
that. When in retrospect, when you think about it, and I asked
were
them,
all
do you
I'd like to
remember?
have done more of them.
You what?
I would like to have done more of.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
When we went there, do you remember when I asked the head of the base? I said, "I'm really confused because I don't understand the point of this base.
Yeah.
Like why you're here.
Yeah, and he says we're a speed bump.
We're a speed bump. We're just here to slow it down." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" So every person here is risking their life,
It's cannon fodder, yeah.
and to a whole
the
nation of people, they're
farmland.
disposable, and it's horrible.
Farmland is the most mined place on the planet.
Yeah.
What?
The farmland all along the border. There's mines. It's the most densely mined.
It's the most mined place on the planet.
And aren't
Where?
the buildings fake?
On
the
the other side.
On the
yeah,
other
there's-
side.
So don't you remember that?
On
North
the
Korea.
border, they have all these modern buildings, but they're fake.
and one of them is a giant, like 10-story speaker, and they just blare out propaganda
Yeah.
to South Korea.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a wild experience.
And that
going there.
weird music that they play.
Yeah. Yay, communism.
It was such a educational trip, that
Yeah.
trip, but it was also
I think
I'll never ever forget that for as long
Yeah.
as I live.
I think if I was like 17 and a half when I went there, I probably would have just been like, I'm just gonna go and join the army. I was like so hyped when I was there.
About being there.
Yeah, I was like, this is so cool. Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I had the best time doing that trip. So much fun.
And when I got on that tank, I was amazed how cramped them things
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
And when the gun goes off, it goes whap.
Yeah, it goes like right in between the navigator and the boss of the tank and the
In the back.
yeah.
The guy I remember used to look like he looks a lot like crazy Dumb and Dumber.
Jim Carrey.
He looks a lot like Jim Carrey.
I know we're getting way off subject of food here, but wasn't there a young military police woman, MP?
Yeah,
She was a
who came at
beautiful
the
young
other
girl.
one?
And she was in a documentary after because she had her arm blown off in Iraq.
She was in a documentary, but we saw her at the military hospital in Washington
Afterwards.
afterwards,
So
and we met her in Korea.
She said to me, "We've met before." I said, she said it back to me. I said, "Well, where were we?" She said, "When you came to the Korean base." I said, "Oh well." And she turned around, and lost her arm.
And I think her leg too.
No, her arm.
think it was just her arm.
And I remember she had lovely red hair, and
she'd lost her arm in Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
now the coincidence
Yeah.
of that. What's that hospital
Walter
called?
Reed.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
where we saw her.
Did
Is it
close?
still there or did it
I think
close down?
didn't they close Walter Reed? I forgot there was some. Maybe
In
they closed it and
Washington.
reopened
Yeah,
it.
I think they closed that hospital down.
Yeah, did they? I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, the food in South Korea, I don't remember actually being really
I remember
stoked on
the
the South
menu
Korean.
had every possible food you can imagine.
Oh, really?
And when it came, it wasn't good.
I just remember drinking at the bar with Zach a lot in South Korea.
Do you remember the food in Japan? How sweet
Everything
is. Their
is.
bread is the sweetest thing. It's like cake.
But I always find the pastries in Japan
The best in the world.
the best in the
Oh,
world, and they're like
ever.
scientifically made.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking thing of perfection there.
It is. It's like a painting.
There's a
What's they have those Colonel Sanders Day there?
What, they have a Kentucky Fried Chicken Day?
It's a day after Christmas or before Christmas.
No, oh, that's not it. We were there at Christmas, and they had just introduced the concept of Christmas to Japan over the few years prior.
No.
And they had a Colonel Sanders crucified in the.
No. It was in a department store.
Yeah.
But-
This was I was watching it on a program. There's one day in the year where they have these they all go around a bit of bucket of Colonel Sanders. It's like a big thing there now.
Wow.
I don't know.
But the Japanese people, they love food.
I tell you what they love: shark fin soup.
I don't know if that's Japan.
Oh no, Singapore. Sorry, in Singapore, shark fin soup.
I was somewhere recently and they had shark fin soup on the menu. It was in America.
It's very sticky.
I was really like confused. I was like, wow.
I've never eaten and I never will eat when they get the eggs.
Caviar.
No, you
Not tortoises.
turtle.
Turtles.
Turtle soup.
Turtle.
No.
Never. I've seen it on the menu, but I've never eaten it.
But, okay, let's talk about dining experiences in themselves. Japan tops anywhere for tradition and the way that it is served to you and the way that the food is like a science experiment and comes out looking perfect. And the
Yes,
way
but
they...
the best in Italy is the best place to go. You get great restaurants in
Best food.
I think, but it's different kind of food.
Totally different.
But I like the tradition behind, let's say, the Japanese way of doing things. And I also like it in Italy too, and the family style. And
do you remember that tiny little sushi restaurant we went in Japan, and it was like going
teeny,
in
and it was just that
Yes.
one bar.
the biggest this room.
That
Yeah.
was so good.
Wasn't
I
it?
loved that. I'm
Do you remember how good the asparagus was?
Yes. I'm such a sushi snob. So like anytime there's like that's where I kind of nerd out on.
What's one of them tents we used to go in at night?
Oh, you used to go in those soup slurpy pot tents at night.
Great they were.
Oh really?
They're
Just
on
like
I fell
corners.
through about 5 of them drunk as a monkey one.
Biro kudasai. That's
yeah,
how
I
you
know.
order a
I
beer
love the food in Japan.
So good. I would love to take the kids to Japan.
Oh my god, I want to take them to Japan
They
so
would
badly.
love it.
Yeah.
Just love it. Do you
Yeah.
remember how you guys, all those arcades
And the
everything?
toys and like
Pachinki.
and pokey, and it was just so good. And the trains and
Mind
the
you, the-
egg sandwiches on the trains are so good.
The beer on the train's the best. Fuck.
Bloody hell. Ugh.
I love that Japanese beer.
We know.
Yeah, we know. I think Japan knows.
We don't eat sushi anymore, do we?
Yeah, why? How come
No,
you
no,
guys
well-
went through a big sushi phase, 15, 20 years ago, and now you
Yeah, not
stopped?
anymore.
Oh, so I went one day to myself, do I really like eating raw fish? And I go, no.
All right, here's a question. If you were on
Sorry.
death row, and you get your last meal, what would it be?
McCartney pie, mashed potatoes, bisto gravy, and peas.
Good one.
Or a good Indian restaurant curry.
Good curry.
I would have I would have the eaten mess.
Just an eaten mess. That was
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Oh, okay. I would either have like a really good like Michelin sushi, or I would have Italian.
So do you go to Asanaba?
Asanibo?
Sanibo, however you say it.
Yeah, I used to. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since I've been there, but yeah, I used
Because
to.
if you're a sushi snob, then you
Yes,
love
I
that
mean,
place.
that's-
Mind you, if
Do
you're
you
on
know
different,
the-
you'd be able to eat. Would you be
Well, no, you get a last meal. There was
I know,
Yeah, but
but
how
you
do you
got-
know you're going to die? How do you like...
Yeah.
Do you know the other restaurant that if you want to be noticed and seen,
Where?
Oh.
Nobu?
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobu
what's
used to
that
be.
one
Never
where you
used to
sit
be.
out front, where you sit out in Hollywood. You sit out front. It's like it's a table on the bottom of the side of the street,
Oh, you're talking about Sunset Strip? Like where the...
and the paparazzi are in droves outside. We've been there, we haven't been there for years now.
Like
I
by
can't
Chin Chin's?
remember.
I think so.
I mean, paparazzi made me never publicly eat because of what happens. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And
I
then
give you- yeah.
some arsehole will then take that picture and superimpose like a dick in your mouth and post it online.
No, that
And
was Paris. He used to do that all the time.
But like that's shit like that where you're just like, I don't want to see that. So if I'm out, I'm not gonna publicly scarf down anything.
Yeah.
And then everyone just sits there and looks at what you're eating and judges you by what you're eating.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they do that as much anymore.
I feel very judged.
trying to think. What? Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah.
Do you ever do that thing when someone's watching you order that you're like, well, fuck you, I'm going to get the full fat option because you're making me uncomfortable and I can tell you're judging me.
No.
So I'm going to order everything that I want and eat none of it and then leave.
No, that feels like really.
Self-sabotaging?
Yeah, that feels like incredibly self-sabotaging, and you're the only one losing because not only did you have to pay for it, but you don't even get to enjoy it.
It's like, but when there are some people when they're like, should we get the? I'm like, no, I don't want cottage cheese with weird sugar sprinkled on top
cottage
of it.
cheese.
And
No, cottage cheese is something that I hate.
I
And,
like it.
and raw tomatoes.
I love it with loads of pepper on it.
when I was pregnant, I had to eat a lot of cottage cheese.
Bagels or cream cheese. And
Do you remember Sundays
What's
in England
Yes.
with the bagels?
Yes.
what's the worst restaurant experience you've ever had?
I remember with your mum one time, years ago, I'll never forget this. She has this steak,
When I used to eat meat.
and the waiter comes up and goes, how is your steak, madam? Yes, she goes, well, actually, it's not very good. It resembles a shoe. I fucking lost it.
It resembles a shoe.
An old shoe, I said.
Oh God.
I know your worst dining experience.
What?
Lowry's with the guy with no arms and legs throwing up in his
No
plate.
legs. He had no legs.
Oh, God.
It was the worst,
Worst?
experience of my life.
Oh,
I am
can't.
mid-bite,
I just can't.
talking to someone on the other side of the table, and then the person right behind it was this poor guy. He had no legs. He was in a wheelchair. He was in a nice suit. He was at dinner with his family. And he begins to just vomit. But it wasn't like...
Projectile?
It wasn't like projectile. It was like someone turned a fucking hose on in this dude's fucking head, and it was just like... it just kept coming out, and it wasn't like he was retching and it would come up.
I would have done
It was
me
just
up
like...
though.
and I was just sat there like this.
I
Like-
know my what. I can't eat bananas because of, this is the craziest story, because of Bridget Nielsen and Stephen Hawkins. I can't eat bananas.
Bridget Nielsen and Stephen Hawking.
Mhm.
What?
We were at the Comedy Awards in London, and she was there, and Stephen Hawkins was there because he was winning for his episode of The Simpsons.
Uh-huh.
And we were all in this holding room, and he was with, I think, his minder, who was also his wife.
Yeah, I know. His
I'm not correct on that part.
he was with someone who was taking...
And basically,
Did you just apologize to the microphone?
Go on.
you are.
She was feeding. She came into the room, Brigitte Nielsen did, when his minder was giving him some mushed up banana, and she took the bowl out of the lady's hands and started shoveling into Stephen Hawking's mouth, and he was like, "Please leave me alone," and it wouldn't stop.
Was she like
No,
fucked up?
she's a very, very kind lady. She's the best. She's funny.
Fun
as
Jack, she's
anything.
hilarious, but it was one of the grossest things I've ever seen. I've never been able to eat
Look,
banana.
she would have done it just to be,
Helpful.
She's that sort of woman. She's a lovely woman. Brigitte Nielsen.
But it was
she's
the
great.
weirdest, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that
And-
definitely that stacks up.
And he was literally choking, but she was trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
And she's amazing. One of the most striking women.
Do
She
you
looks like she's carved out of marble.
do you
Where else? You know,
Tall, used
Blonde.
to be married
To
to
Flavor Flav.
Stallone.
and Flavor Flav?
Yep.
Do you remember when we went to the Italian restaurant in Sherman Oaks? There was like 6 of us, and we didn't have a reservation. We walked in. We were like, "Hey, can we sit down?" And they were like, "Oh, we're pretty committed, but if you eat quick, we'll give you a table." And I was like, "Okay." And so we all sat down. This wasn't that long ago, and an hour to the dot, the manager or hostess or whatever, the person who sat us down, who said you had to be quick, we were still eating, puts the check on the table and said, "You guys have to leave now." Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, yeah, I get you said we had to be quick, but
You didn't tell us.
relay that to our server, who only just put our food on the table. Like, it was really fucking weird. And I promised, I was like, I would never go back to this restaurant. Fuck that. And I went back recently because a friend.
Was it good?
So good. It's like such a good Italian restaurant, but they are a bunch of fucking assholes there.
Okay.
No, how rude is that,
Mr.
though?
Chow
It's
is
very
good.
rude.
I like Mr. Chow's.
You always
gotta
know
do-
what you're going to get there.
Yeah.
It's always good.
We need to
I
go
love
do
it.
a Chow's night.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We should do it. We should do it this week to
Take Billy.
Well, we should do it this week to celebrate the launch of Madhouse Chronicles.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd love some
Your
Jonathan
podcast.
Fish.
Baby
Billy.
Sid
Oh,
would
yeah.
like it.
He would
Rice,
love it.
Noodles.
The record's
He'd
doing
love it.
well.
Yeah. Well, at that note, I think we should probably wrap this bad boy up.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Nicole Shear-Linger won a huge award in...
Mom, you mean Nicole Scherzinger?
Yes.
What?
She won a huge award in London.
She
and
and Olivier.
and Olivier, she
Who did?
was
One
brilliant.
of mine and Mom's really good friends, and Mom just still doesn't know her name.
No, I can't say it. Of course I know her name. I just can't say it. And anyway, because I'm,
Mental.
mental. And I'm just so proud of her. She's so brilliant. And she's bringing the show to Broadway. And I just can't wait. I just
Who
want to
is
say
this?
huge congratulations.
Who is this?
You know Nicole.
Nicole Scherzinger. She sits there and smiles at you because she has no idea what you're saying. Every single time. She can't understand a word Dad says.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
All righty. Well,
This is Kelly signing off.
just a quick shout out. Thank you, Liquid Death,
Thank you,
for
Liquid Death, for
Thank
keeping
you.
us
Contributing
hydrated and
Yep, this is good. Oh, yeah. And, folks, please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and head over to osbournemediahouse.com and check out all our sweet offerings.
join the family.
Yes, join us, please. This is a journey we're all going to be on together.
Join the family at osbournemediahouse.com.